Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the DJ and Heel Show post SmackDown show. I am DJ the Heel, joined by the low quality podcaster, aka DJ.
You're DJ the Heel.
Did I say DJ the Heel, or did I say DJ the Heel?
You're DJ the Heel today. You're officially my bitch. We got it on record.
No, you've always been mine, my sidekick. But
it's ain't it great to be live on Friday night or what?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And we also once again we're joined with Cal with glasses. What's up, Cal?
How's it going? How's it going?
And Hollywood Gump in his house. What's up, Jack?
Fellas, what's going on, buddy?
Well,
I love the quiet ominousness of your voice today. It sounds so sexy.
Oh, you couldn't hear me?
No, I said I could hear you. I just loved how low and ominous you came in the show with. You were like, "Hey guys."
Oh.
Well,
hey
SmackDown
guys.
just ended.
What's going on?
SmackDown just ended 15 minutes ago. Main event of KO and CM Punk for the title. I guess we'll start with that. DJ, what are your thoughts?
So, is anyone else disappointed that the fact that KO didn't win again? Like, this is just
disappointed, but it's almost expected.
I guess. I feel like there's so many times where WWE have set themselves up for title changes and put themselves in a position where a title change, especially with a babyface like Punk, I don't think anyone would have been upset if KO won the belt tonight instead of keeping it on Punk. And like how I was just explaining to you guys before we got started, I think it would make more sense if Sammy costed Punk the belt to help KO than we're just turning Sammy on KO again. And we're just going to eventually get to another Sammy and KO feud again. And I would have been okay with it if Sammy never won the title in the first fucking place. Because then we could use KO versus Sammy for WrestleMania, that being a big match for the WWE Championship for Sammy's first ever world title win in Saudi Arabia. But no, we blew our load the first chance we fucking got because, I don't know what the creative thoughts process was behind that, and I don't even think WWE does. But yeah, the match itself was actually pretty fucking good. They got us with the near falls. Punk and KO work really well together. It turns out everyone who hates Punk is his best in-ring partner. MJF, KO, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins. You just gotta hate the motherfucker, and y'all can make millions of dollars if y'all want. It seems like a working fucking formula. But I do also agree that the finish was deflating in the terms of story continuity. It would have made more sense for Sammy turning on Punk if we're leading to the three-way, because then you got a clear babyface, clear heel, clear guy in between both. Now you got Sammy you got two clear baby faces and one clear heel. And it kind of, now you're splitting your audiences between the two baby faces instead of just making it more clear. No one would have had bat a fucking eye if KO won the belt. If he won the belt, Punk would have had a bitch to get a rematch because Sammy cost him the belt. Sammy could have said, "You lost, KO beat you. The ref saw nothing. I want my match versus KO." Then Nick Aldis could come out saying, "You know what? We're going to have a three-way ladder match at Money in the Bank for the WWE Championship between you three chuckle fucks." That would make more sense.
You're going to have a third ladder match?
I don't think they'll do a third. I don't think they'll do a third
just
ladder
a third
match
in general. I don't
Punk
know.
Punk won't let them do a third ladder match.
I'm just saying. Cal,
3 is less than 6. That's all I'm just saying. Less is more.
Yeah. Cal, what did you think?
I think it was a really good match. Really enjoyed it. There was like 4 other outcomes I would have preferred. I think not Sammy costing KO the match. I would have rather him cost Punk the match. Or I've been talking a lot about wanting Punk to turn heel. That didn't happen either. But they were booing him. But I guess we're not there yet. Or honestly, I would had KO win cleaner. Really just it was like option number 5 for me. But I can see where they're going. We get now probably a triple threat, like DJ was saying. I don't know if they'll do a stip on it. It might just be a straight triple threat. but I can see that's what we're building towards now. But like I said, it was a good match, and the triple threat will be great. Just probably wanted a little bit more gratification tonight.
Yeah, Hollywood, go. What did you think?
So yeah, I mean, I like the program. The whole program with uh, Punk and KO has been good. It's felt a little bit rushed, um, but I didn't really like the match that much. I mean, it was a good match. It was nothing special though, man. Like, and then with Sammy hitting Punk and then making it look like KO was going to win, and then turning on KO, and CM Punk got laid out at the end too. So it's clear that he's still not a heel. I feel like we're still just spinning our fucking wheels, man. I feel like we're not really getting anywhere. I'm sure we will eventually, but dude, these storylines, dudes, like having to wait and wait and wait for any sort of, in my opinion, compelling shit to happen with Punk or Cody Rhodes for that matter, is just it's so boring, man. It bores the shit out of me.
I thought the match was good. You know, they teased those close pinfalls. You kind of knew that Sammy was getting involved. You know, so disappointed because I want to see KO win the title. Expected that Punk was going to retain pretty much. So I didn't hate it. So I didn't hate it because I pretty much expected to happen. So it is what it is. It
Yeah.
builds towards the next steps of where they're going to go. So there's that. I guess that's the only positive I can really think about the booking aspect of it. But the match itself, I didn't see anything wrong with the actual match. The two
I
of
didn't
them,
necessarily. Oh, sorry. No.
I was just gonna say the two of them, were pretty well off and had a good chemistry for guys who don't like each other, which is something that you brought up, DJ. That
Yeah,
guys who hate each other for some reason have the better chemistry.
Yeah, no, and then in terms of the match, I don't think there's a better two people who could tell a story on SmackDown right now. With Sammy being involved, we'll see where it goes. I mean, it's just, to me, it's just another three-way match. WWE definitely does too many of them in a calendar year. I feel like a good amount of three-ways should be one, maybe two if we're pushing it. But that's just me. Maybe it's just old man DJ finding something to bitch about.
So where do we? I mean, we were talking about obviously it's going to lead to some sort of three-way. So I mean, I don't. The one thing I don't want to see is I think we've seen enough of KO and Sammy. They talked about when at SummerSlam how often we got Roman and Seth, and it's like we got Roman and Seth a lot further apart than we've been getting Sammy and KO. And I just don't think we need Sammy and KO yet again.
No, I agree. I said that in the beginning that we're doing this again. And this would make more sense if we're doing Sammy and KO for the belt if Sammy never won the belt in the first place. Because Kevin Owens is the perfect person for Sami Zayn to have his first big title win against, instead of just some random three-way they threw together and did it in shock and awe because they're like, well, we're in Saudi Arabia now, and we don't know if we're going to be in Saudi Arabia in April because of conflicts. So we're just going to put the belts on them now just in case we don't go and have to make a last-minute change. And if we do go, we can still crown him again in Saudi Arabia. At least that's my thoughts. But
I mean, they're supposed to be going to Saudi in November, but they're going to be doing that champion versus champion thing. So and then after that, it's Saudi Mania. So
all right, let's get to the next big elephant in the room as far as tonight. Blake Monroe made her debut, kind of. They teased the match. They promoted the match. They booked the match. They didn't have the match. She came out. during Julia's entrance, kicked the shit out of her to where Julia was unconscious and unable to compete. Blake walks off strong. Julia looks like a fucking tool again. I'm not saying we're burying her, but we're not doing anything to make her look good. So, unless this is Blake's first feud, this is even if this is her first feud, this is a terrible way to start it. Let's at least establish the character of Blake Monroe on television first before we're just having her beat up random women and making Julia look like a jobber. Am I alone in this opinion, guys? Or again, is old man DJ just finding things to bitch about today?
I think it's that,
no,
but
not at all.
anyway.
I think well, the first thing I really like the short little backstage thing they did with Blake with Kathy Kelly, just the short little interview. I think they did a really good job there. But I think they've really, to make a really old reference, but they're going full Chinese democracy on Blake Monroe's in-ring debut. I mean, how many? I mean, what the joke is? I mean, can we say we're going to get GTA 6 before Blake Monroe debuts on SmackDown at this point? Are we?
No,
We
hell no. We'll
mean
definitely get a Veer Mahan fucking coming on.
like? So
fucking
are
Raw
we? Have we reached
before
meme
GTA 6.
status? I mean, did we? But I will. Not that it's going to come off super overly defending, but at least they got to the ring tonight. We got into the ring. We haven't gotten that far yet. So I mean, to look at it as a positive point, we made some forward progress.
No, I agree. I'm with you on that point, but I also said another thing I said in the pre-show meeting we had was like the WWE stole a house tonight. They teased a lot of shit and gave the insinuation that a lot of shit was going to happen, and they delivered on none of it. And they're going to get away with it and have people give them a pass because, well, WWE only teased it. Like Blake Monroe having her first match, she just comes out for a beatdown, don't have a match, or a Julia match. So it adds more fuel to the fire of WWE doesn't give a shit about Julia. Tonight was made pretty much for a Kevin Owens title change. No one would have had a problem with it. No one would have batted an eyelash, and I don't think anyone in the IWC would bitch about it. And if you did it right, you could have dragged this on to a three-way and further the story between these three guys. But instead, we're going to just have Punk win again right in front of the referee. It wasn't even like the referee wasn't looking. He was laying down selling, but looking straight at Punk and everything while it was happening. So that was a thing too. Again, if Sammy cost Punk the title and KO took advantage and KO capitalized on his first actual real one-on-one match since returning and became champion, we could do some shit. But now we're just chilling on old reliable and resting on our laurels again. This is the WWE I got used to.
The thing about the Blake stuff is they did have a post social media shit that basically explained Blake's motivations to why she attacked and didn't have the match, and it leads to her character where she was basically saying that Julia's below her, and anything that's not a title match, she didn't wait this long to get to WWE, 9 years, blah blah blah, to be able to not go for the world championship. So at least there was some sort of connection on her character and her motivation there. And I know you're going to claim that I'm making excuses, but it is what it is. So, there's that. And then, the truth be told, if they would have had the match and Julia lost, everyone would be complaining that Julia got buried. If Blake lost her debut, everyone would be throwing up those Tony Storm memes. So there really was no way to win.
Here's my whole thing. If you're not going to have the match and have no plans on having the match because you have no way to get out of the fucking match, guess what? Don't book the fucking match. You could have did Blake Monroe versus Kiana James for the fuck of it. Or Blake Monroe versus B-Fab. Blake Monroe versus Meechin. Blake Monroe versus Tiffany Stratton. I just gave you 5 different names you could have did without burying Julia or burying anybody and still have Blake Monroe feature on a match on TV without fucking teasing it, booking it, and selling it as a point of people paying 15,000 people, no less, paying to come to see your fucking show. Again, they stole a house. They got people to come and didn't deliver on anything and was able to get away with it scot-free. I'm going to call it as I see it.
Hollywood Gump, what did you think of the Blake Monroe stuff?
So I will say this, man. I'll give it to WWE. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's been a long time since I've seen them advertise a match and then one of the competitors just come out and beat the dog shit out of the other one and the match gets called off. I feel like it's been a while, so I'll give it to him for that. And I'll also say the match getting called off definitely beats the hell out of the alternative, which I thought was about to happen. I thought Julia was about to get buried. And I was about to even make a tweet like, this is what a burial is. Like, this is an actual burial.
Like an actual one, a real life
So
one.
I'll say
Hold on.
Yeah,
Gump,
a real
Can I
burial.
ask you a quick question, Gump?
Well, hold on. Wait. We're just go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying in terms of a burial, what would you consider as said burial? Like a 2-minute squash match or a competitive match where she loses?
Oh, like an absolute squash match. Like Julia's, like she's trying this new run as a babyface. Like, if I'm not mistaken, is this not her first match since she got turned on by Kiana James, or am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Okay, so
No,
she's
she beat
trying this
Kiana
new
James.
or whatever.
They had
But
a
she's
match.
still she's a brand new babyface, and she's trying out this new gimmick, and then she comes out and then just gets squashed and literally gets zero offense in, gets beat down from the ramp, and then gets pinned. That's a burial. You know, that's where I'm going with that.
And I do agree that would have been a million times worse than the no match, the beat down before the match. That would have been a million times. It wouldn't have made Blake look good debuting on a squash. It would have actually been a burial of Julia. And we're a step above that at least. I think, but I don't know what the best case scenario was, because Blake Monroe has to win her debut, but if they got to do something with those two now, though. They can't just pivot away and just leave it at that. Like, these two have to have a program now, or it's even stupider.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with that. If there's no follow up and Julia goes on to something else after getting beat down, and let's be real, the beat down wasn't really a beat down that someone of Julia's caliber wasn't able to get up. Like, she really did. She got hit with a knee, and that was like pretty much it. As far as I remember, unless it was she got hit with the neutralizer. But I still feel like Julia should have gotten up, and that shouldn't be like something to wipe her completely out. But if, like you said, if there's no
and I
follow
even
up,
tweeted it kind of ended.
I was going to say, if
there's a bit of
follow up,
my bad.
if there's no follow up, then it doesn't look good for Julia either. You could say she was protected tonight because they did it this way, but if she ends up being off TV for the next 3 weeks, then she might as well have just lost the match and then moved on.
I agree on that. That shouldn't have been a multi-week beat down. We got to have some level of an actual beat. That was no more of a beat down than if she had wrestled the match. So hopefully they have something to follow. And Blake's got a debut next week. Like, really, at this point, if they do it another week, I don't know if I can stomach that.
If they would have done the match and Blake got disqualified, would that have been a more satisfying ending?
But I think that's a shitty debut, though. That's a shitty debut.
No, hold on. Because I think that because not only it would protect Blake, it would establish Blake as a heel, but you somewhat still protect Julia. She doesn't have to lose. She won via DQ. Blake had to cheat to beat her, or not beat her, but had to cheat, and still opens up for a feud, opens up for a rematch. You can do more and dive deeper into who Blake Monroe is as a character.
Yeah, I see the logic. I think it's a lame debut, but it makes sense. But I just think it would be.
Well, I don't think this hurts either of them. It's kind of it's a little bit lame, and it's like, we would have preferred a match. I definitely don't think it hurts either of them. It doesn't really help either of them either. Like, maybe it helps Blake come off as a heel a little bit better. But that's about as far as that goes. It was weird. It was just a weird decision.
No, that's what the point I was trying to make. It doesn't help anybody in this situation. I'm not saying, they're both buried or they both look like shit. I'm just saying teasing the match and not having the match.
It was a
when
literal
people were looking
punt.
forward to match.
It was a
Like,
punt that they punted. They were just basically what they did. It didn't help anyone. It didn't hurt anyone. They just said, "Ugh, one more week."
That's it.
Well,
I was gonna say, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I
No,
was
you
just gonna say, something I said last week. It is MFT does stand for the motherfucking Tongans.
Oh,
You said they would never say it on TV, and they did.
I put out a tweet. I said it's going to be hilarious on the next season of Unreal when you see Pritchard, Hayes, and Triple H sitting together laughing, giggling because they just told Chris Park he's got to tell Haku. Oh fuck! What happened?
Was that? No, I just said giggling. I have a delay apparently.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, they're gonna basically it's gonna be like a rib on Chris Park that he's got to go tell Haku he can't swear.
As far as the tag match, I mean, this as a tag match, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't.
It was a WWE tag match.
Yeah, I like Tala Tonga's limited in the WWE ring, or at least working a WWE style, because they make him more like a big man and less like a big man who's Samoan. R-Truth and Priest at this point as a tag team, you can't take them seriously. You could tell they're a comedy act. This is what we've relegated former world champion Damian Priest to. Remember that,
well,
folks.
It looks like he's about to turn heel. They teased it.
Again, former world champion, and he's relegated to tagging with R-Truth against the MFTs. Oh, have the mighty have fallen. I didn't give it. This was the one thing I definitely didn't give a shit about. Went out my way to skip. Got me a Gatorade. Rolled a joint.
Time out. Let's not pretend like fucking Damian Priest is Drew McIntyre here. He's a former world heavyweight champion, but come on. He's exactly where he should have been. He never should have been a world heavyweight champion.
He was a guy who was prominently pushed, who's now relegated to a mid-card comedy job guy. It's not looking good for Gunther. I'm just kidding.
I think he's got to turn on Truth. I think he's got. I mean, that's the only way that he's got to turn on Truth. It's the way he can really rehab him.
Well, he's about. That's what I was saying. He looks like he's about to. They teased it.
That's happening next week. So basically, they punted. The entire episode was a punt and it was in front of a packed 15K house. They're like, we're not going to do anything that actually moves anything. We're going to just strictly stay right here in this formation and not go anywhere. Because think about it. They didn't actually have Damian Priest turn on R-Truth. They didn't do that yet. So it was like a whole show, like DJ was saying, where they didn't do anything.
What else happened on the show? Oh no,
we got the Fridge and fucking their crew fucking beating up Tiffany again. I feel like Tiffany is just taking they're doing the Lana angle with the Fridge, but instead of putting the bitch through a table every week, she's just gonna end the segment with a leg drop.
Well, Chelsea can't get beat down, so Tiffany's gonna take him for both. She's gonna take the beat down for both of them. So they gotta figure something out.
Every week now, though, this is every week thing.
They gotta figure something else out with that.
Like if Tiffany gets laid the fuck out again next week, they're doing the Lana humiliation ritual thing. I'm telling you.
Well, I think it's leading to eventually she's going to turn on Chelsea, and the only other thing of note is we're getting Tatum Paxley is going to have her debut match next week.
At this point, is she?
That would be hilarious. But that's another. Add that to the list. It wasn't Tatum Paxley's debut either. They said it'll be next week. Man, next week's got a really great show planned.
Gump.
I think he's having issues.
No, he's on the delay.
He told me he freaking got brand new internet.
Brand.
No, what's up? Can you hear me?
Oh, now
There
we
we-
hear you.
I did get new internet. I don't know what's going on, dude. Every time I try to get into a podcast, it acts crazy like this.
But yeah,
What was the question though? I missed it.
I
what was your
DJ,
thoughts on the Fridge and Tiffany getting squashed again? And are they going to do this concurrently like they did the Lana thing?
I'd pass, buddy. I didn't watch the match.
All right, then. All right, we're just going to skip the rest of that segment. Then there's Cody and Randy that opened the show, their promo.
It's a good
well,
start
you
to the
said this.
show.
Yeah, you said this was the best part of the show for you, DJ. So I'll let you, give your thoughts first.
I felt that this was one of Cody Rhodes' best promos in terms of the substance, in terms of it didn't seem like Cody Rhodes sat in front of the mirror and workshopped everything. It just felt like Cody Rhodes went out there and was a pissed off Cody Rhodes, had some emotion, had some vigor. Randy is just a master on the mic at this point in his career. He can say anything and it just makes sense because it sounds like it's coming from Randy Orton. That's the thing. In this promo segment, it didn't feel like two characters reciting scripted verbiage at each other. It felt like two guys who have genuine animosity at each other, talking shit to each other, building towards the match. And that's what we need more of in wrestling.
That's
guys,
that's
go
what
ahead.
KO and Punk had just pulled off. That we had just seen them do that too. That's when it feels the best, when it maybe they do actually dislike each other. Not Cody and Brandy, they definitely don't, but like KO and Punk, they really probably a little bit there they don't like about each other. And they're able to focus on that. I don't think there's any like strict hatred. I mean, but they probably is something.
No, but this felt like two brothers fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Two brothers arguing at the fucking dinner table because one person said something to the other. The other one tried to fuck one brother's girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like, this felt like two brothers having animosity towards each other. We have an issue. I'm going to kick the shit out of you. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like very, very family-like issues.
It seems more family-oriented than the fucking bloodline currently right now.
How funny would it be if they end up fighting next week and Cody loses any chance of having a title match again in WWE following AEW?
That's gotta be a joke. There's no way they do that.
No, they're not. I'm just saying that I think it would be funny if Cody couldn't get a title shot again, and then he's stuck in the same spot he was with AEW, that he couldn't get a title shot.
Wait, did they make that? Did Randy say he wanted that as a stipulation? Did I miss that?
No. They were about to fight, and Nick Aldis said that they are not to touch each other before the Sunday night's main event. If they do, they both will never have a title shot
okay,
again.
yeah, I got you now. Yeah, I'm tracking now.
So now it's like going to be the thing where they're going to next week they'll probably have a face-to-face, and then someone will like push Randy into Cody or some bullshit like that. But yeah, so this way they can't, we won't get these weekly brawls until we get to the match.
Which I kind of like when they do something to keep, because how many what can you 4 weeks where they have to have a pull apart? You got to have something that keeps them apart the best you can that makes logical sense.
Right. So, and they both want the title, so hold the one thing that they both want desperately over their heads for them to behave.
Yep.
But yeah, it was fast. It wasn't a long thing. It made sense. Then you had the tease with Randy and telling Punk he's coming after him. So you're still getting all these different entities around the world title, and as bad as I felt this was a bad episode of SmackDown, it like really took a step back to the pre-SummerSlam, but you still had a lot of those storyline strings tying together around that main event scene between Cody and Randy, KO, Sammy, and all that. So they kept that together. Just the rest of the show between that opening segment and the main event was just was shit. It was like skippable.
We call it filler. It was a filler episode.
Yeah. But the way they teased it and built it all week long.
Oh yeah, this was going to be the Red Wedding episode.
Right.
Not
it was
even
gonna be
all week long. Ever since they announced the KO Punk match, they've been building towards this specific show, and the creative and the show quality has been good leading up to it.
Like, let's be real. If this was AEW, this show would have had a wacky name. You know, this would have been like you're wrestling in a shirt fest, like or something. You know, it would have
Toronto
had some.
Turnpike.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So I
Yeah.
mean, but yeah, again, I just really think definitely a swing and a miss for me. I think just not enough substance. Didn't move.
Just compare. My issue is compared to what we've been spoiled with the past 2 weeks, and we know WWE can put on a good show and give the fans what they want and deliver on what the fans want. This show was a complete letdown from that. Again, they teased a lot of shit and didn't deliver it whatsoever. And they rightfully stole a house with this. They got 15K motherfuckers in Toronto to pretty much pack out an arena, and fucking gave them nothing to show for it.
Blue balled them.
Yeah.
One last thing is we got Shinsuke's partner, Choach. Apparently that's how it's pronounced, is Choach. It's spelled Kyoki.
Coach. Oh.
But that's Hiromu. Who's
I'm guessing it's
now,
probably Kyoki.
well,
Hiromu Takahashi.
he pronounced it Choach during the promo video that they did with
Really?
subtitles. Yeah, but it's spelled Kyoki. But he pronounced it Choach, which is just horrible.
Weird.
But yeah, so it looks like that's your next, tag team feud with the MFTs. So
Boo. Those racist WWE motherfuckers just sticking all Japanese people together, sticking all the Samoans together. It's just wrestling in general is full of these racist motherfuckers. Let's do some mixed race tag teams, god damn it.
Where's your APAs?
You know what I mean? I miss those days.
Dudley's.
There you go.
I mean, technically we got that with Damien and R-Truth.
I mean, barely. If Damien's out,
yeah.
if Damien's out in the sun too much, he could pass his brother.
I was gonna say Puerto Ricans are almost black. Almost.
I did not
But
say
yeah.
that for the record.
I didn't say it either. It was AI.
It was definitely AI.
They love the AI. But yeah, that's pretty much SmackDown. Any other thoughts?
No, does Cody have a match for Sunday main event yet?
Yeah, it's him and
That's
Randy.
Randy.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
That's why they can't touch until then.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
it was
So
Randy.
right now, Sunday night's main event is Braun Oba, Cody
Um,
Randy, Lil Yachty, Braun. I almost said Braun Breaker. Baron Corbin. Jesus fucking Christ. And I don't know what the last match is.
Braun Oba. Did you say that?
Yeah, no, that was the first match. Braun Oba.
That was the only. Those are the only ones announced so far. There's only 3 so far.
Okay.
they haven't put a women's match on there yet.
Not yet.
Maybe that'll be
They
Blake
will.
Monroe's debut.
There'll be a Danhausen match somewhere.
And no, it'll probably
Danhausen
be,
with a mystery box and mini.
it'll probably be an IC title match or something.
they
Honestly,
need to throw a women's match on there.
Yeah, it'll probably be the IC. It'll probably be maybe a 3-way with.
Oh wait,
Lyra.
I thought Lyra and yeah.
Oh, you know what? It might end up being Becky and Stephanie.
oh yeah, that too.
That would
For like a
be
number one
That
fantastic.
could be
For number 1 contendership.
what's her name? Tatum Paxley, and those girls against the other girls.
Oh
They
yeah,
do love,
Whoever.
they do love their triple threats.
Tatum versus Fatal Influence.
I'd
there you
like
go.
that.
Tatum and
I'd
those
like
girls versus the other girls.
Char, Alexa, and Tatum versus Fatal Influence.
But yeah,
I can see that.
Did we? I don't remember. Was it before we went live, or did we talk about the trick stuff with Yachty and Baron Corbin?
I don't know if we did, but we can rehash it if you want.
I mean, what do you? I know how you feel about it, DJ. But what about the rest of the panel? How we feel?
Actually,
about
you
this?
know what? We didn't talk about it on the show because I didn't explain how fucking stupid it was. So let me just state how fucking stupid it is and why the fuck do we still have Yachty when all we needed him for is WrestleMania, but yet we're still using him as a manager for a guy who can talk very fine on his fucking own.
Like we said, he's Trick's Prince Nana. Swerve doesn't need Nana, but we've kept him around, so that's what we got Yachty.
Again, just because we do it in the Pissant T-shirt company doesn't mean it's okay. We do it in the fucking main industry leader over here and say it's okay.
But they love Yachty in Atlanta, so that's what they're doing there. I mean, it's not ideal, but it's 5 minutes. We have a cap. We know what's going to happen. It is what it is.
It's gonna be that baby face beat the clock thing where Yachty's gonna have to survive to make sure Trick gets his title match right afterwards. So it's the opposite of the old school. If you beat me, you'll get 5 minutes with Bobby Heenan, and he's got to put a weasel suit on, type thing. So the concept I understand, the execution is not good. So
I'll say that Trick being paired up with Corbin is really, in my opinion, damaging him, because this feels like the lowest of the low mid card shit that there is on the show. I don't know. Corbin just doesn't feel big time at all to me. Like, there was a brief period where I thought he was really big when he was doing the Happy Corbin and Sad Corbin stuff.
I love Happy Corbin.
But he's just, I liked Happy Corbin a lot. But this stuff is just not it, man. The motorcycle and shit, I don't know, and I think it's hurting Trick. I hate to be the Debbie Downer all the time. I'm just saying.
No, I can see that. I don't think they just brought Corbin back, but I know there is a lot of people who do like Corbin. Just maybe he's not for me, and I think Trick because Trick was on the up. Trick was on the up, and I think Corbin's kind of made him take a step back.
Okay, here's my question for you guys. Obviously, Yachty's going to last the 5 minutes, so Trick gets the title match. Do you put the U.S. title back on him, or do you leave it on Corbin, let him go do something else, and then you could push Trick to Money in the Bank? Or do you have him still win the U.S. title and then still be in Money in the Bank and maybe win Money in the Bank?
I say put him in the Money in the Bank. I think at this point you have to put it back on Trick because they're keeping the program going. But I really still think the money is to put Trick and Mello back together, like not feuding, but like as a fact or a cohesive unit. I
love Trick Mello.
Yeah,
it worked so well.
But at this point in time, wouldn't their positions be pretty much reversed? You can't put fucking Trick as Mello's young boy.
Oh, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, that Trick was a kind of more of Mello's sidekick.
Yeah, he
but
was.
Now, right now,
he was the
Trick's
sidekick.
Trick's kind of bigger now.
Right, you'd have to have Mello as a sidekick, and that dynamic just won't work either.
No, because that would be.
I really felt like I'm sorry. I really felt like my fantasy booking, I thought made sense. Like, it was after whatever show it was, one of the big shows we just had. Which one was it where Trick lost? It was what, SummerSlam?
SummerSlam, yeah.
Yeah. So when I put out that thing about Trick, beating down Lil Yachty, because out of frustration over losing his belt, and then Carmelo coming out to save him, and then them both beating him down, I thought that would have been great. But clearly they didn't like my idea, and they moved on from it and kept Yachty with them. So I don't know. Again, I feel like they're spinning their wheels, dude. Just another case of them spinning their wheels.
Resting on those laurels, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I mean, the bright side is the original plan was to have Yachty do a concert at Sunday Night's Main Event, so at least they're not doing that.
I will say I prefer the 5 minute beatdown over the concert.
Yes.
I definitely prefer that.
So,
Or even better, let him start performing his concert, and then Baron just come out and beat him down for 5 minutes in the middle of his concert.
That would have been better.
Yeah, but that's pretty much SmackDown. Thanks for the people who joined in to watch our live recap show. Don't forget that this Sunday, episode 37 will drop. We recorded it last night with Cal. It was a really good show, so that'll be up live at 6 p.m. on Sunday. Thanks, guys, for joining us, and we'll see you.